Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
I don't be bow. I got the snow. Snowman do.
The battle vein.
Love to eat popcorn, yes I do.
Get it
and I put them on stream. Make an ornament.
The bout, scatlet down,
Hold your boopy doopy. Man, I gotta talk to my dog.
Oh shoot! Fella let that scat that button down.
Don't show.
Fella let's get it, but this get laid. Scatter, hang all the mistletoe. I'm about to get to know your ass better. When's gonna happen? I tell you, this Christmas paint all the mistletoe. I'm about to get to know your ass better. This Christmas. Welcome to Real Spill, Tis-I Jordan Vance.
It's your boy, Darren.
Hey man, it's episode 26. We are getting thick into this thing, man, and it's gonna be a heavy show. Got a lot of stuff to get to, man. We're gonna talk about, especially. Let's just top it off real quick. The REDBOX releases of this week. Tammy was out this week. Melissa McCartney. You just would have thought it would have been funny. It's not a bad movie. It's just not as funny as your mind expected. I give it a C-.
Wow.
It's mediocre, but it's, you know.
Like what? Give me a Will Ferrell.
A comparable, Will Ferrell comparable movie is probably that movie that was serious. Where he was like
what is the name of it?
The
lady was writing about it?
Yeah, that movie. That's probably the best comparable I can give.
Mom was talking about that.
It's not supposed to be serious, but it just is not as funny as you would expect it to be. Also, REDBOX Expendables 3. I love Expendables 3.
Yes.
He loves Expendables 3. You know, you got, this one's one of them, you love it or you hate it. I loved it. So, I mean, I say definitely go check it out. Also, Madea Christmas. If you don't like Madea, don't see the damn movie. That's pretty much what I'm going to laugh. Look, I'm happy for anybody out there that can make some money.
I'm happy for him.
But, if you don't like Madea, it's fun. It has funny moments. But, C-. The Giver, which is based on a book from, I think, maybe 20, 30 years ago, something like that. But it's Jeff Bridges, some dude.
Why are you moving his face on the regular photo when they were walking up his chest? That was the worst acting I've seen for my life. He looked like he did a whole Dumb and Dumber.
That's not Jeff Bridges.
Oh, that's Jeff Daniels.
Yeah, that's Jeff Daniels. Jeff Bridges is Tony.
Bo Bridges and
yeah. So this movie is a sci-fi action flick.
Which one was on Iron Man?
Jeff Bridges.
He's still alive.
He shaved his hair off here.
He shaved it again?
Nah, he had hair on this one. He had the beard though. This movie's pretty good, man. I don't know nothing about the book, to be honest with you. I guess it was core curriculum back in the day.
What made you see that?
Cause I had saw the previews of it and I was like, this is a sci-fi action movie. Got Jeff Bridges in it, and can't be too bad.
You know what?
So I was like, and I was right. People really did.
Don't give a credit to. And I think I said this before. Was the newest Tron? I think it's like 2010.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. I like that.
I like that Tron.
I think it's pretty good. I thought Tron. Check out Tron Legacy. If
Yeah.
you haven't seen it, check it out. And then check out The Giver too if you like those sci-fi action movies. It ain't really got that much action in it, but it got a good sci-fi twist like thing to it. And all right, so let's get to the thick of this, man. This show today I have some other things to talk about, but we're gonna mostly start off with the Mike Brown. We didn't get a chance to touch on it because we was off didn't do the show that week. The Mike Brown situation, as y'all already know, the world knows. Darren Wilson did not get indicted. And here's the thing, you feel how you want to feel. You can, be on whatever side of the coin you want to be on. I know how I feel. I feel wrong. And the bottom line is, I get a lot of questions. You know what I'm saying? Because I see a lot of white people out there. So they ask me questions like concerning the situation. And it's the moonshiners. And
well, potato drink.
Potato drink.
Potato liquor.
I don't know what that is, but
mead,
man. What is that? Old English.
Still mead.
So, I mean, the situation is like this because shut up. Because you have conflicting evidence and conflicting eyewitness testimony, and it's a lot of back and forth of who did what. There's no clear cut of what exactly happened. However,
the camera don't lie.
This ain't the camera situation. This is you talking about Eric Garner. We can get to it.
Look, I'm getting them all mixed up.
Because it's happening. That's pretty bad. It's happening so much that it's ridiculous. You hear the comments, man. I
try to avoid it.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want to be angry.
If you can, that's great. But I mean, it's everywhere. It's posted everywhere on TV. If you go on the internet, it's right there as soon as you pop on there.
Did you hear about that girl from our old school?
No.
Oh my goodness. She Hazelwood. She got on the t-shirt supporting the cop.
Mm-hmm. Where you see that?
My child showed me it on the phone.
That's brave, I guess.
That's incredibly brave. That's more than brave. The quarantine.
You can feel how you want to feel, man. But here's my thing. And all that aside, I'm not saying I don't know if he was in the wrong and charged the cop or hit the cop.
But when have you ever heard of that?
Here's the account of what I heard. He's at the car door. Cop start over. Said, "Get out the effing road." And they didn't move quick enough for him. He started to drive off, and then he backed up, and then he tried to open the door, but he was so close to their body that he hit them with the door.
Also, he tried to make it sound like
Mike Brown
pushed the door back.
Mike Brown allegedly reached into the car door, and I don't know. No, allegedly what the other guy that was with him was saying that Darren Wilson grabbed Mike Brown, through the window to hold him. Mike was trying to, yank off him, and a struggle ensued from that point. That guy said he heard a shot get fired, which was, Darren Wilson still in the car. He heard a shot get fired. Mike Brown backed up, and he said he saw the blood running from his shirt because he had a white T-shirt. He said they started running, and he said Darren Wilson got out the car, started firing. Now, here's where I'm going to stop the story right here. They saying that, he was charging at the police office. So from what I understand, he starts busting shots as they're running away from the car, and Mike Brown allegedly stops, turns around with his hands up, and there's parts of the story that match up and parts of it don't. So the eyewitness that was with Mike Brown is saying that he stopped with his hands up, and then he fired on him, and he fell and died. Now, they have a coroner evidence corroborating this, but then the other coroner evidence is saying that he was running with his head down
with his head down.
But here's my thing. Let's go from a common sense.
Bull charged the cop with a gun.
After he got shot. Let's go through the common sense factor. One.
Who does that?
One. When Darren Wilson was firing those shots, there were two people running in the same direction. So that's number one, which means that those shots could have hit either person. So that nobody's really saying this, but they could have hit either person. So Mike Brown was the one who turned around. Darren Wilson, or not Darren Wilson, the other guy went and hid, I think, or something behind a car or a building or something. He said.
So
and then
he shot at both of them.
Well, see, but nobody's saying that. So I'm saying, like, if he was just shooting in fear of your life, then how can you shoot the two people and one of them running away? Even in the story that they saying. So then the second part is, I don't know nobody who gets bullets fired at them that's gonna run towards the gunfire to further get shot. I ain't never heard of this.
Now, I didn't got shot.
Now, like I said,
and I tended to run away from the
bullets, but
not towards it.
Like I said,
so I guess this particular African American thought he was bulletproof and decided to run towards.
I've never heard of this.
As the officer says, he feared for his life.
And see, and that's the other thing.
This dude ran full Hulk.
And he opted out apparently, and he ran at him and charged him, and so
who would listen to that?
There are eyewitness
any sense.
Because here's why: when you're dealing with eyewitness testimonies, it's very hard to see who's telling the truth and who's not telling the truth. They don't have a video or nothing like that in the case. However, I will say this: if I'm not mistaken, under Missouri law, if an officer feels threatened, they have the legal right to use deadly force. Now that's a dumbass law, but
if he
feels threatened,
what if he just having a bad day or he ain't taking his medication?
Hey, I'm just telling you the law. What the law say, man. It's a dumbass law. Period. I don't really know because I make people feel threatened just walking into a place sometimes.
A gun should be the last
resort. But and here's what is the kicker for me. Even if you're on a Darren Wilson side, the Darren Wilson side of supporting things, here's the problem that I have. Let's say he charged at you. Let's say he did all the stuff that Darren Wilson said he did. You shot him, he died. Here's the problem I had. In the interview that he was doing or did or whatever, he said that he would have did it the same way and he was doing his duty as a police officer. That's a problem for me. Because talking about somebody's life. Knowing something that you know that they didn't have a gun. You could have, if you could go back in time, use an alternate method to stop this dude. You can taser, mace, baton, all these different methods that you have to stop this dude.
Caucasian cops should be forbidden to watch Die Hard. You motherfuckers think you John McCain.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I just needed something to say because you were saying so much.
Well, you shut up. But I mean, that's.
Ban John McClane.
That's the long short of it. When you taking somebody's life, you need to be apologizing for taking their life. It's not like you firing bullets at you trying to kill you. You see what I'm saying? So it's not like and even then, yeah, I would still be remorseful. I wouldn't want to kill nobody personally, but to say like.
I wonder if little Timmy got shot.
And that's the problem. Like people's like, it's a tough one, man. It's tough because it's a tough situation. You got to explain, and then hit with like maybe less than a week later.
The thing is, my thing about me is that they say in police or in their job is to protect people, right?
Yeah, protect and serve.
Okay, but it seems that African Americans don't feel like cops are there to protect them.
And that's the biggest thing. And that's what like a lot of white people don't understand. They're like, why?
Why?
Because this is based off the comments from the white people that I know and the white people that I see on social media that type all these comments and saying that white lives matter and
what they got to do with.
And here's the thing. That has nothing to do with anything. Because we're not in the position, we're not saying white lives don't matter. We're just saying black lives matter just as much as white lives. Nobody's saying that white lives shouldn't matter and nobody should care about the police. Police brutality goes on probably across the board with everybody. I've seen police videos of a white woman getting tripped by two white cops and because she was talking on the cell phone in a no cell phone talking, they took her out, slammed her on the ground. I've seen that too. Wow. But here's the difference: she got her money, she alive, and she got her justice, and they got fired and suspended. Now, that's the difference. Yes,
and this is for her getting her ass.
Second scenario: chokehold got put on a young white kid by a black cop. He got fired. He didn't die. He got fired. We're going to get to the Eric Garner situation. Everybody know about the non-indictment that came down about Eric Garner. Police officer did the chokehold. There's clear video, it's clear-cut video of what happened here.
Different angles, like
different angles of what video, what happened here. I cannot, just looking at this video, I cannot understand how anyone can look at that video and say, well,
I got a question.
There's nothing right on. There's no problem here. Unless you're just plain racist, you just hate black people.
This is my question.
I don't even understand that. But unless you are, then that's fine. That's what you think.
This is my question. If he was not a cop, let's say he was a little bit intoxicated. He had on that same outfit, and he choked that dude, and he died. That badge, that piece of tin, made that much difference. If that was just a regular white dude jumping on him and choking him like that, and he died, the white dude would go to jail. End of discussion.
Yeah, more than likely, yeah.
So basically, that badge just gave him the right to kill the man.
And that's the problem. Because you can watch the video.
Because you see what's happening. He clearly kills him. I mean,
you see the chokehold, which, by the way,
let's just imagine that he wasn't a cop and then just watch the video. Imagine that he's not a cop and watch the video.
Yeah, that's a good point. You do that too. But the chokehold, what I was going to say, is illegal. Cops are not allowed to use it. And clearly, that's a chokehold.
Yeah.
When you wrap around somebody's neck, with your forearm on their throat, that's a chokehold.
It's a chokehold.
Clearly, it's happening. Like, it's not like a blurry video like when you see alien abductions or you see little alien spaceships. You be like, man, why the video ain't never clear? This ain't one of them cases. This is HD camera. You can see the case. You can see look, the tinges of hair. You can see all this. Clearly, he got choked out. Even in the aftermath video, which is the one I showed you this morning, they trying to get him to respond. They tell him, come on, guy. The MMT lady comes up and says, we're trying to help you, sir. So just get on the stretcher. He clearly knocked the hell out or dead already.
Get on the stretcher. He
clearly knocked the hell out or dead already. His eyes is open, staring in the glazy spaces, mouth open. He looked like he ain't breathing to me. Now, I ain't there, and I can't touch his chest and check. But I'm pretty sure he probably can't get up and get on that stretcher.
Yeah, everything was wrong.
When they put him on the stretcher, his leg flopped off the side of the stretcher. Come on, y'all. Really? And then they texting saying white lives matter too.
Why is that? What is that got to do with anything? Why do you want to?
Some of them have to have this thing where they don't like black people stirring up trouble, as they say.
Black people don't like black people stirring up trouble
because they feel like it's just creating a big old racial situation. But here's the problem, guys. I'm sorry if you don't experience or understand the concept of racial profiling and racial situations. This is a situation where a gentleman. What?
Turn that off. You move that with that in there.
What? Oh, turn off this?
Yeah.
I didn't move it.
My brother destroyed my child's thing.
Anyway, I didn't do that.
You destroyed my children's things. It wasn't me, son. It was your uncle.
I'm going to edit that out, so it don't matter. But the situation is the guy didn't get indicted. But here's the thing. Here's the kicker. He did apologize and say he never meant to bring him that type of harm or kill him. His wife didn't accept the apology, which she's well within her right to not accept that apology. But at least he apologized and understood the parameters that he took somebody's life. At least he did that.
Yeah.
Now, you know, that just shows a little human factor. This police brutality, like I said, is across the board situation, man. It happens to other people, but the differences are why it happens, and it should never happen, but what's the initial reaction. So, for instance, a guy walking down the street should be harassed by the police because he's walking down the street in black with some dreadlocks. Because what happens is, it happened to me before, and it's happened to him, it's happened to my friend, and I know a lot of white people don't understand this concept of racial profiling. They think, no, they probably was up to something. And if even if they got caught with something, the cop never knew it at the time. But for some reason, sometimes it's just simply you black.
Yeah.
You may have dreads, tattoos, be in a neighborhood in which you live, which you can't really necessarily always can control. You might have been born there, and that might just happen to be a bad neighborhood, and then the cop roll around and say, "What you doing outside?"
Like
and it escalates from there. It becomes just like they got the video of the dude walking in Detroit that the cop stopped him because he had his hands in his pocket. It was cold outside. Because somebody called the police and said suspicious looking character walking around.
Why is he suspicious?
Because he had his hand in his pocket. And he said he was looking at him. They asked the dude on the phone, "Do you feel threatened?" He said, "Well, yeah, he keeps looking over here."
Because he looked over there? So now
with his hands in his pocket.
Niggas got to look at the ground.
I don't know. But if you can't see these all police brutality matters and it's bad.
Y'all want us to look at the
brutality like happens to white people. It happens to Hispanic people. It happens to black people. But brown and black people have a stronger distrust for police officers. It's not a phantom distrust. It's not they're just mad because they just think they want to play victim. That ain't always the case. I ain't nobody's victim.
No.
The bottom line is this stuff actually happens. Yeah. I'm sitting there telling you, it happened to me. I ain't never been in jail. I ain't never been arrested. I ain't never had handcuffs on. I ain't never been in a courtroom. I smoked weed. Anyway, I ain't never did none of that stuff. But it has happened to me before several times over.
I ain't never did all that stuff, but it still happened to me.
And the bottom line is, y'all, there's conversations that need to happen. And there's some white people who are truly oblivious to the fact, and some of them not just racist, some of them just ignorant. And they have no idea what we're talking about. But there's some conversations that need to happen. Cultures need to blend a little bit and talk about these things in a respectable setting, in a respectable way. So, you can get a little more idea of what the hell's going on. So I'm going to just stop it right there. And let's go ahead and give them a throwback movie of the week, man.
I think Equilibrium is a good movie. I think nobody really talks about it. I don't think a lot of people know about it. But it's Christian Bale, the guy who played Batman.
That is good. That is good.
And Taye Diggs.
When did that come out? 98?
And it's kind of matrixy, but it's a good movie. And then a lot of people just
that's one of them underground dope movies that a lot of people don't know about. So it's called Equilibrium. Stars Christian Bale and Taye Diggs.
It's on Netflix. You got Netflix.
Yeah, it's about a future apocalypse, in a controlled world where, basically
we headed there.
They outlaw what? Art, music,
everything.
Pretty much everything that makes you have emotion. It's kind of like The Giver, actually. That's what they did on that movie too.
You gotta take a pill too to regulate your emotions.
They do that on The Giver.
What's The Giver?
Hey, it's based off The Giver.
What is The Giver?
It's the movie with Jeff Bridges.
Maybe it is based off that.
And they outlawed all kinds of art, colors.
Did they wear black?
It's black and white for most of the movie until the dude starts to be able to see difference.
It's the same thing.
So, yeah. Watch both of them, damn it. There you go. Watch The Giver. Watch Equilibrium.
Is there any action?
No. Equilibrium got a lot more action than The Giver. So, take a look at Equilibrium. Definitely, man. You can find it for the low somewhere online, especially. And what you said on Netflix?
Yeah,
it's on Netflix, man. So we was gonna get to some more stuff like why women like thugs versus and they call good dudes who go to school lames. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that next week. Because you chicks are out of control. All right? Real spill.